Hi, I'm Peaceful Nik, the medium. Welcome to my live stream. Tonight, I want to talk about Father's Day fallout. Has anybody had any fallout from Father's Day? That will be the subject for tonight, but I will cover many different things, as always. And sometimes we get distracted and we go on a tangent and we cover things that aren't even on the list. I will say that one of the best ways to deal with emotional stuff, family stuff, any kind of dysfunction in your life, any kind of your own stuff that you just want to deal with, the best way is to start a meditation practice. And I will say that I've never been the best meditator. I'm getting better as I'm getting older, but I know some people can sit in meditation for a very long time. It's very grounding. It's very peaceful. And next week, I'm going to start a meditation live stream, specifically for those who have trouble meditating. So next week, I am going to start doing, depending on my schedule, a couple of times a week, around 10 Eastern, which is 7 Pacific, morning live meditations. Hi, Chris. Good evening from the Gulf of Mexico. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. So I will be live streaming, and of course the live streams are posted permanently on YouTube, and if I choose to stream on Facebook as well, they will be there. I get so many people asking me about meditation. I can't do it. I'm no good at it. I can't slow down my thoughts. And I was traveling this past weekend visiting family for Father's Day. My oldest son, oh, my ear's ringing. That's so funny. I was visiting my oldest son and my granddaughter and my daughter-in-law. We had a wonderful visit, and it just came to me that people need help meditating. And when we meditate, we raise the vibration of humanity. So that will start next week. This week, I'm very busy with my Mars job and all my mediumship readings. Next week, I have a little extra time to do a morning meditation. So please join me or watch the replay. I will be doing morning meditations for those who can't meditate. Watch my socials for that. And if you are a subscriber on YouTube, I think there's a little bell or something you can click that'll notify you when I'm live. And of course, watch the replay later if you want, because, people work and stuff. Let me know. Hello, everybody who's here. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Excuse me, I have a little allergy catch in my throat. Hi, Kimmy Cat. Yeah, catch the replays. Oh, well, and good. You already meditate. Good, good, good. Yeah, helps absolutely 100%. Meditation helps so much because the whole point is to slow down the train of thoughts in our mind. That's why I'm not a good meditator and never was, because it's like tick, 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 tick. Hello, Kimberly. Chris said, it's been a struggle for me as well. I have to breathe 4 sec in, hold, and 4 out. Yep, and so on. Yeah, and there are other techniques that I'm going to cover for people who struggle meditating. So sure, watch the replays. Monday morning is my plan to start. Hi, Marby. Welcome, welcome. My plan is to start Monday morning, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. We'll see. We'll see, but that's my plan. I do have 4 episodes of the Soul Twin Stars podcast released on Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. The latest episode was the Father's Day with a Mom special. my co-host, Lady Shadow, and myself gave our background situations with our fathers and how that, caused us some struggles in life. And her father's passed, and mine wouldn't be up for a podcast appearance. And so we had a mom, her mother, who is a psychologist, a PhD psychologist, was our guest on the podcast. And it was fascinating to talk to her. So let me know where everybody's tuning in from. And I want to talk about the fallout from Father's Day. So there are many people, if you are Generation X like I am, there are so many. I don't know if I know more than a handful of people that have a real, valuable, good, healthy relationship with their father. So, hi, Marby from Dallas. So, if you do not have a good relationship with your father, please listen to the podcast. It is here on my YouTube channel as well as Spotify, Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all the places. You can watch it anywhere. Hello, beautiful Kathy. Kathy and I have worked together. Those of you who are new to my channel, please follow Medium Kathy Behrens. She's a certified evidential medium and animal communicator. We have done so many wonderful live streams together, and we will again soon. We also host the Spirit Exchange, which is a gallery style membership. This month, our guest is the finder of lost items, Miss Molly Knows. If you would like to join that, and if you're missing an item, Miss Molly Knows is going to tell us her story and how she remote views and helps people find things. She's pretty famous for it. That will be on June 29th. And to join a la carte, it's only $25, and you can go to kathybehrens.com to register for that. I haven't put it back up on my website, technical difficulties, so go to kathybehrens.com. Kathy, if you want to stick that in the chat, that would be awesome. And that is after Miss Molly Knows speaks, Kathy and I do mediumship readings, and this is about a once a month gallery that we do. And a la carte is really cool if you're new to mediumship or if you're just super interested in Miss Molly and finding lost items and remote viewing. Yes. Okay, so meditation starts next week. Anybody have any issues, problems, anything with the Father's Day fallout from this weekend? I know a lot of people have dysfunctional, non-existent relationships with their fathers or have lost their father. So let me know if you want to talk about that. If not, we can talk about other things. I have a new 6-month mentorship starting starting Saturday. I have so many classes going on. I don't even know which way is up anymore. My beginner's mentorship starts Saturday, this June 21st. I only allow very few people in my classes because I believe in one-on-one attention in my classes. I was a science communicator, well, I'm still a science communicator, but a science educator in a classroom for 20 years, so I know how important small class sizes are. So if you're interested in that, email me. If you want to talk one-on-one and have a free 15-minute chat, please let me know and I'll fit you in this week. Hi, Dawn. I'm so happy you're here. Kimmy Cat, I'm Gen X. My dad died 15 years ago. He is one of my guides since he passed. Wonderful. Complicated relationship, but very much alike. I love that you're talking about that because often when we are like our parent and we have a complicated relationship, we can repair it spiritually. My father's living and I do communicate with his higher self. So I think it's important to be able to do that. if you have a complicated relationship here on Earth. For so many reasons. It can be very healing because human egos sometimes don't allow for communication to come through. Let's see. Kathy said, so excited to learn about your morning meditations. Oh, yes, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Chris said, I did not have a great relationship with my father. I dreamt of his passing. I told my mom about it. She dismissed it as stress. Later, she called. The conversation mirrored my dream. Yeah, so that's a precognitive dream, Chris. So you very likely have psychic and mediumship abilities. Very much. That is one of the indicators. And personally, I believe everyone has psychic abilities and mediumship abilities. And there's many reasons for that. One of them is everyone I know has had some kind of experience similar to that. Maybe not exactly like that, but some kind of precognition. And we are animals, right? We are biologically animals, and animals have instincts. Animals sense energy. Animals know things before they happen. And so as we evolved into modern humans, we lost some of those reasons to be tuned into the energy because now we live in a house. So we don't have to worry about a lion chasing us and eating us for dinner. So we don't have to tune into those senses and energies. But we all have it. We just have to remember it. Remember your abilities. And I believe, I'm just making a note here. I believe that so many people are becoming mediums and psychics and actively working in that field so much now for many reasons, again, but a lot of us are waking up to remember our abilities to help heal the earth. And we need to do that to create a new earth. Dawn had the same with her dad. Chris said, it's overwhelming at times. Emotions are rampant. Yes, so that's a great point. And one of the things people learn in any legitimate mediumship mentorship is to pull your emotions back when you are sensing things before they happen or doing mediumship or psychic work. You can build a relationship with your guides and the spirit world in order to say, listen, I don't want these rampant emotions all the time. I want to have a normal life. And when it's time and when I decide, I want to work on these abilities. I want to practice these abilities. So you have to tell your guides, even if you don't know, Chris, who your guides are, you can put the thought out. Guides, whoever you are, please don't interfere with my human life. I don't want to hear those messages while I'm at work or while I'm dreaming. Please allow me to only hear them when I ask for them or allow you to tell me. It's all about boundaries. Yeah, that's right. Pull back. Yeah. Just pull back the emotions, set a boundary with your guides, just like you would with a human. And it works. It really, really works. They usually listen. I say usually because, sometimes they want to get information in. Hi, Cindy. And Chris, I have tons of videos, workshop videos on my YouTube page. I have a playlist, Mediumship Information and Learning. There's a ton of stuff on there if you want to check it out. Okay, so hello. Hi, Julie and Cindy. I'm so glad you're here. So podcasts, I have 4 episodes. We are releasing our 5th episode. Oh, I need to update my website. I've been a little busy. Our 5th episode is this Friday, and it is the Can Astrologer, Abby. And she's talking about how she does tarot, she does astrology, her journey with plant medicine. It's going to be a wonderful episode. It's being edited as we speak by my wonderful and incredible podcast co-host, Lady Shadow, who is a white witch and a Wiccan and amazing. So stay tuned for that. It will be posted on my social media, and it's a fascinating conversation we had. Also, what else do I have going on? Lots of readings, lots more YouTube content. I'm really, if anybody follows me on other platforms, I rarely ever go on the Clock app anymore. I just not a fan of it anymore. It's not serving our community well. I have a lot of drafts there, and I can't I really just go on there about once a day to post a draft so I can post it to my other socials, but I don't make new content there or go live there at all anymore. All my lives are going to be here on YouTube and Facebook for the very near future. I also have a Patreon, which I need to update. I've been in the thick of a lot of busy stuff, so I got to get back to work. This is the week I'm getting back to work the way I'm supposed to. Kimberly, I do not have any readings left for June. My next readings are at the end of July. I'm sorry. I got very busy very quickly, and my schedule filled up very fast. Which is great. It's wonderful. And I'm so grateful. And part of that is being a guest on podcasts, and especially Linda G, Comanche Psychics podcast. I was a guest with her a couple of times, and that really propelled me and got my calendar really full. Do you think psi abilities are generational or inherited? I have been told by mediums it's on both sides of my family, and I see it in some of my siblings. I think there is probably some logic to it being inherited, but I think everybody has the ability. Maybe it's stronger or more accepted or easier if it's in your family just because you're surrounded by it. I really think everybody has the ability. But if your family is doing this and practicing this and talking about it and it's around you, it probably turns it on easier for you, if you know what I mean. Hi, Doris. For example, if you grow up in a family, I'm going to make a benign example, okay? I don't want to offend anybody. If you grow up in a family and everybody loves oranges, right? Everybody loves oranges, loves them, eats them. Oh, they just crave oranges, right? And oranges are so delicious, and they make orange mayonnaise salad and orange sandwiches, And so the kids are born and they are exposed to oranges. So they love everything oranges. But then you have the family across the street. They eat apples. They only eat apples. And they eat apples with peanut butter, and they eat apples for breakfast, and they, eat apples for dessert. And then the kid from the apple house goes over to the orange house for dinner and to play with the kids. And they're like shocked. Why are they eating oranges? Why aren't they eating apples? So it's kind of like that, different spiritual belief systems, different religions. It's apples and oranges, right? Whatever you're raised around, whatever you're more exposed to is going to be easier for you to practice or become that. So that's my benign example using apples and oranges about, is it inherited? We all inherited it. essentially, is my opinion. My mother probably was an untrained psychic. She had abilities. She talked about a lot of paranormal stuff, but she died in 1986, so I don't know. Yeah, Cindy, exactly. That's why I was using apples and oranges. That's exactly why I used apples and oranges. Yes, exactly. You got it right away. Um, yes, yes, yes. Follow up to the question, trauma upbringing seems a commonality with intuitives. Do you know I have talked about this before, Kimmy? Um, and I think I've made videos about it, short videos. What came first, trauma or telepathy? That's one of the questions I've asked because it's like when someone is born blind, their sense of hearing is heightened, right? If we are born into a family of trauma and we have to tiptoe around the abuser in the house, whether it's emotional or physical, um, our other senses are heightened because if you know parent A is coming home from work and you don't know what to expect when they will there be screaming? Will there be yelling? Will there be breaking dishes? What's going to happen when parent A gets home? You're going to heighten your senses to know when they're going to walk in the door. That's trauma and it turns on your telepathy. That's my opinion, right? I have no scientific proof of that, but that makes sense to me. Um, let's see. Constance, I found you when you were a guest on Linda G. Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah. I got a plethora of new subscribers after that, and I am thrilled about it. Right, Chris. What Helen Keller emotionally went through. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that's a question I've often pondered. I also think about this. It's sort of related to that topic about trauma. Um, I saw something a psychologist posted on Instagram, and they said the person in the home that's the abuser is the one everyone lives their life around. So if you know someone who lives in a family where, or maybe you live or have lived in a family where everyone is tiptoeing around the life of this one person in the house, and sometimes it's two people, but most of the time it's one abuser, that's the person that's perpetrating all the pain and hell on everybody. Um, oh, okay, gotcha. Cindy, a reading for me for June, please. Do you want to book a reading? I don't have any June readings. I am completely booked for June. The 24th or 29th of July is my next available reading. Cindy, that includes mental and physical. Absolutely. Hi, Lauren. So tonight's subject is Father's Day fallout. So, did any of you have to go be in the presence of family that made you uncomfortable? Did you have to be in the presence of family that you know are toxic and you didn't really want to be there? And you're like, I'm on this new path. They don't understand me. I don't really want to be around them, but I'm kind of obligated to do it. Doris, wow. Thank you, Doris. Um, let me know if you have some Father's Day fallout. So, hard day, stayed away from everyone. Yeah. Yep. That's kind of my go-to. Um, I have moved across the country back and forth, East Coast to West Coast, several times in my life for many reasons. And often I find myself very far away from blood relatives, except for my own kids and my husband, um, because I'm the black sheep of my family. My husband is the black sheep of his family, and to me, the black sheep of the family is the whoever the scapegoat of the family. Do you guys know what a scapegoat of the family is? Um, there's the golden child in the family. I've been to a lot of therapy, so I know these terms, and I've read a lot of self-help books. The golden child in the family is the child the narcissistic or abusive or uninformed parents love. The golden child is the favorite, the best one. Oh, look at this glorious child we made. They're so amazing. And the scapegoat is the one that, oh, look what they did. You again? You're doing that again. You want to change your major? You want to work as a waitress? You want to smoke weed? God, you're so terrible. Look at how much you're embarrassing us, right? So you've got the golden child, everybody loves, and then the scapegoat, which is the bad kid that does all the bad things and embarrasses the family. But that's just the parent's perspective. Maybe that scapegoat is doing those things because they're escaping from your toxicity, because you want the golden child to do everything you want them to do, when the golden child is normally not living their own life. The golden child, the greatest child in the world, is living their life to please their parents. The scapegoat, the one that's, not doing the job the parents want them to do, or not making the decisions the parents want them to, and they blaming them. Look at how bad they are all the time. The scapegoat is usually the truth teller, usually the one that says, hey, you're pretty dysfunctional. And the parents don't like that. They don't want anyone to know they're dysfunctional. That's why the scapegoat gets all the blame and gets ostracized. The scapegoat's usually a truth teller, and usually the one that escapes the family and lives far away from them. The golden child is usually dysfunctionally enmeshed with the parents, and they also could have an emotionally incestuous relationship with them. And that's not good, because that golden child will have some repercussions at some point. They cannot live for other people forever and be happy. And they're probably not happy. If the parents pass away, then that golden child, who's propping them up? The golden child gets lost, and they're like, oh my God, I lived my whole life for these people. Now they're dead. Now who am I? And that leads to a whole bunch of other repercussions. But the scapegoat, the black sheep, the person that escaped the family, already has become who they are because they've escaped that dysfunction. So anyway, that's my rant about that. So any questions about that, let me know. I do a lot of guidance in my mediumship readings. Cindy said, my stepdad, I just dropped his gift off to avoid any hurt feelings. And you know what, Cindy? You don't even have to drop a gift off. You don't. Give yourself that grace. Kimmy, I'm the black sheep as well due to my woo-woo stuff, as well as knew when my dad was coming home. Intoxicated as a child. And would rock uncontrollably. My mom told me that years ago. Yep, because all your senses were heightened. You knew the toxic person was coming home. Yep, and I bet you were the truth teller. Don't you dare tell those dysfunctional parents the truth. They do not like that at all. Cindy said, sounds like an only child. They sometimes have to be both. Sneaky. Yeah, that is true, because these dynamics are common. Think about all the families you know. Just think about everyone you know, everyone you grew up around, all your cousins, all your relatives, your own family, and think about the golden child versus the black sheep. And sometimes a parent tells the black sheep how bad they are so much. And if the black sheep doesn't have strong enough willpower, they will become that bad kid. But they weren't initially that bad kid. They were convinced that they were. So they're like, F it. I'm going to do bad stuff. They told me I'm bad. I better just be bad. And some are like, I'm not bad. You're dysfunctional and I'm out of here. So Cindy said, I feel the other Cindy, there's two Cindys, Cindy P. I feel lost on holidays. My mom, dad, and both brothers have passed. I'm so sorry, Cindy. I understand it is hard because I live very far away from my family, and it is hard to have, very lonely holidays. But what I can advise you to do that may help is plan things you enjoy for you. Maybe you enjoy painting. Maybe you enjoy getting your nails done. Maybe you enjoy going on a trip somewhere just by yourself. If you want to be by yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. Stillness speaks, as Eckhart Tolle says. Sometimes we have to get in here and have stillness. So I would plan things to celebrate you on those holidays and honor your loved ones in spirit, because your loved ones in spirit don't want you to be miserable while you're here. They want you to enjoy what joy you can find here on earth. So I'm sending you peace and love, Cindy P. Chris said, do narcissists know what they're doing to the other person? That healing clock resets every time a boundary is crossed. The first part of your question, I follow a bunch of narcissist pages because I know plenty of them. And not everyone that I'm speaking of who's a narcissist is a diagnosed narcissist with narcissistic personality disorder. Some people just have narcissistic traits. It can be learned from other people. Some people who are brought up by narcissists learn those traits, but don't fully become a narcissist. And then the caveat to that is some people who are on the autism spectrum, especially level 1, have narcissistic traits because they're emotion blind, right? They don't recognize emotions. So they seemingly are cold-hearted. So you have to find out, is this person a true narcissist? Does this person just have some traits they learned? Or is this person on the spectrum? Because there's a difference. I've known people for many years who I thought were narcissists and then found out, oh, they're on the spectrum. So all that stuff I thought they were doing to hurt me on purpose was just they have some autism. And so they don't understand how emotions work. So that's one part of that. I don't really want to believe that narcissists know that they're hurting other people, but I have a feeling that they do. But that's because they're very damaged. They're very damaged people. They are crying out for love and they don't have it. And if it's a true narcissist, like a real diagnosed narcissist, they may never recover from that. So you have to know what range are they on. And yeah, that boundary being crossed. I talked about this in the podcast, the Father's Day podcast. My father, who was aware that I was having a wedding almost 30 years ago, did not come to my wedding. My mother was dead, so I had no mother there. My uncle had to give me away. My dad said he had to work, which he owned his own business for decades at that point and did not have to be at work, right? He could have come. He just didn't want to come. That's my opinion. So years later, my son got married 3 years ago, and I invited my dad to the wedding, and he didn't come. And so that narcissistic trait reset that painful clock for me when my dad didn't come to my son's wedding. And he just went to Hawaii with a bunch of other members of the family and didn't invite this other part of the family. So it's like, think, 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 think. Oh, thank you, Kimmy, for supporting Cindy. Cindy S said, the problem is they will often use our compassion to continue to abuse us. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. Oftentimes, empaths, who are very sensitive people who pick up on emotions, end up being with narcissists, because narcissists are love bombers and empaths want love. And so they're like, empaths are like, I'm wide open, love me, love me. And a narcissist is like, I can give you all kinds of love. Boom. And they love bomb. You see it in famous people in the media, like actors, actresses, singers, models, whatever. All of a sudden, these people are madly in love, and it's the greatest love story ever, and they're plastered all over everything. And then a year later, they're this horrible divorce, and you're like, what happened? Well, they were love bombed or trauma bonded or something. Yeah, never, it's never healthy when it's that fast. You are welcome, Cindy P. Yeah, it's Kimmy, it's okay. I been to a lot of therapy, as I said. And I am happy that my husband is such a good dad. We have 2 adult sons, and watching him, and now we have a beautiful granddaughter, which we just spent 4 days with, which is the best. Watching my husband be such a good father to my kids healed the pain from me not having a consistent, emotionally healthy father, and who is still not consistent with me. Very sporadic. So I don't trust that relationship with my dad, but I know my husband spent so much time with our kids, so much healthy time, all the sports, all the activities, all the things. He very involved, telling every single night. We put our boys to bed, we say a prayer with them, and my husband would talk to them and tell them stories from his childhood, because he had a great, pretty active childhood where he played with his buddies in town. He lived in a small town, and he would tell them all these stories every night, and they bonded, and he took them to all the sports. He coached them in sports. And now I see my oldest son as a father to his daughter. And he's so good, and he loves her so much. That heals me. I'd rather see my husband be a good dad and my son be a good dad to his daughter. I wouldn't trade that for having a good dad. For anything. For anything. I am perfectly happy seeing my son be an excellent girl dad. He loves that baby so much. As you can see, as I tear up, that means the world to me. That means everything to me. My job is done, right? I did it. I made good kids who are good adults. They love their wives and kids. to be, well, one kid, but I'm sure there'll be more at some point between my boys. That's all I wanted. I'm happy. Nothing else matters but that to me. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah, thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, that's really, that's it. That's the thing. That's all I ever wanted. Seeing my son be a good girl dad just heals me, seals that heart right up, sews it up. Yep. It's very important. Very important. And on that note, thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate you being here. And if you're in a relationship with a narcissist who just has traits, boundaries. Narcissists hate boundaries. They hate them. So it's really important that you stick to them, right? You stick to them. And if you don't have to be in their presence, don't be. If you're in a home with a narcissist and there's a way to get out of the home, do that safely when you can. Angel said, I have 2 older brothers. We all have different fathers. I think I have 2 half brothers out there too. Don't talk to any of them. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's hard. You are very welcome, Chris. And everybody else. If anybody has any questions, wants to ask me about the 6-month mentorship, email me. Again, I don't have any mediumship openings until July 24th or 29th, something like that. So I'm sorry, but I'm happy and grateful that my books are full. I was going to say something else. Oh, Monday, the plan is morning meditation for people who can't meditate. And I'll be live here on Facebook and YouTube Monday morning. Thank you all. Email me, peacefulnikthemedium@gmail.com, and ask me anything you want. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I'll be live again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for my regular Wednesday night live. If you have any ideas you want me to talk about, send me an email. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye.